Now we come to another sutta, 4.19.184. Now the Brahmin Janusoni came to visit the Exalted One, and on coming to him greeted him courteously, sat down at one side. So seated, the Brahmin Janusoni said this to the Exalted One. For my part, Master Gotama, I say this, I hold this view. There is no one subject to death who does not fear and fall trembling at the thought of death. And the Buddha said, well, Brahmin, there is such a one. But there is also one subject to death who does not fear, who does not fall a trembling at the thought of death. And of what sort is that one who, being subject to death, fears and falls a trembling at the thought of death? In this case, Brahmin, a certain one is not freed from passions, not freed from lusts, not freed from desire, affection, from thirst and fever, not freed from craving. Then a grievous sickness afflicts such a one. Thus afflicted by grievous sickness, it occurs to him, alas, the passions that I love will leave me, or I shall leave the passions that I love. Thereupon he grieves and wails, laments and beats the breast, and falls into utter bewilderment. This one, Brahmin, being subject to death, is afraid. He falls a trembling at the thought of death. Again, Brahmin, here a certain one who, as regards body, is not freed from lusts, desire, affection, thirst and fever, is not freed from craving. Then a grievous sickness afflicts him. Thus afflicted, it occurs to him, alas, the body that I love will leave me, or I shall leave the body that I love. Thereupon he grieves, wails, and falls into utter bewilderment. This one, Brahmin, being subject to death, is afraid. He falls a trembling at the thought of death. Yet again, Brahmin, here a certain one has done no good deed, has done no profitable deed, has given no shelter to the timid. He has done evil, cruel, wrongful deeds. Then a grievous sickness afflicts such a one. Thus afflicted by grievous sickness, it occurs to him, alas, I have done no good deed, I have done no profitable deed, I have given no shelter to the timid, I have done evil, cruel, wrongful deeds. To the doom of those who do such deeds hereafter I am going. Thereupon he grieves, wails, and falls into utter bewilderment. This one, Brahmin, being subject to death, is afraid. He falls a trembling at the thought of death. Yet again, Brahmin, here a certain one is doubtful, full of perplexity, has come to no conclusion as to true Dhamma. He grieves and wails, laments and beats the breast, and falls into utter bewilderment. This one also, being subject to death, is afraid. He falls a trembling at the thought of death. Thus these four, being subject to death, are afraid. And of what sort, Brahmin, is he who, subject to death, is not afraid, does not fall a trembling at the thought of death? Then the opposites, the vice versa. So this sutta is about the person who is very frightened when death comes. The first one is he's still very attached to the passions, and a lot of desire, a lot of loves, so that he cannot bear to part from his passions. The second one is attached to the body, and so when the body is about to die, he can't stand it. And the third one has done no good deeds. And this one is very common. A lot of people, they don't have enough good deeds. They have no confidence when they are about to go. Whereas people who have done a lot of good deeds, they are very happy at the last moments. They are confident. And the fourth one is doubtful. The person does not know Dhamma. So he does not know how he came to the world. He does not know where he's going. And he's afraid. Some people, when death comes, they're afraid to close their eyes. Because when they close their eyes, they start to see visions. So they are very scared. So these are the four types of person. The opposite are those who are not afraid. Now, I've read another sutta earlier where the Buddha said that most people, after they pass away, will fall into the woeful plains of rebirth. according to the suttas, most people, when we pass away, most people will fall into the woeful planes, and few will come back to the human realm or to go to the heavenly realm. So because most people go into the three woeful planes of the hell realm, animal and ghost realm, when death comes, they can see their place of rebirth. If you have experience looking at people who are about to pass away, they can tell at the last moment where they are going to be reborn. So they can be, some of them will scream at the last moments, Some of them, sometimes they behave like an animal and go walk on all fours and then refuse to wear any clothes. They'll just tear off their clothes. So these are the people who will be very afraid when death comes, which means that most people. So there's also a sutta where the Buddha said where we should be prepared because the Deva messengers have come to tell us, to give us warning. Who are the Deva messengers? When you see a person who is grievously sick, you should remember that is a Deva messenger to us, that one day we'll also be grievously sick. The second Deva messenger is you see somebody is old. When you see somebody is old and very near death, with all hair, white or no hair, sparse hair, and walking, shaking, hunchbacked and all that. That is a sign to us that one day we'll also be like that. And then the third one is a dead corpse. When we see a corpse, that is a messenger to tell us that one day our body also will be a corpse, and it won't be very long, just a few more years' time, because our average lifespan is only 70 years. So these are the Deva messengers that we should receive, be heedful of the message that they are passing to us. The Buddha said our body is like a cancer. All of us have cancer. Sometimes we forget, sometimes somebody with cancer, they can be very alarmed. They think that they are the only one who's got cancer. I have somebody who got cancer. I've gone to see that person, and he tells me, "I've got cancer." Like, expecting me what should he do? But he forgets that all of us have cancer, in the sense that we don't know when we are going to die. Say, for example, a person has cancer. He thinks he's got maybe another few months to live. But then, even for the rest of us, we have a few years to live. That's not very much more. We all have to face the prospect of death. So when we listen to the suttas, we understand that's the way the world is. That's the way things are. So we accept it. We accept death. And then when death comes, we are no more afraid. So the Buddha said we should always reflect on death. Marana sati, the reflection of death, we should always practice.